Was Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black Gucci House 3 long face, skinny body, and we are back with some more fireboards and anime manga content. I missed y'all, bro, but let's go ahead and get right into the business, yes sir. All right, so I know y'all probably asking like, yo, what's good with the Boruto manga reviews? What's good with the Boruto episode review? Relax, man. I'm recuperating from spring break, and I decided I needed me time. So I wasn't really tripping about taking a break off of YouTube, but I am actually excited to like start talking about the business because, like I said, time and time again, shit is heating up in the Boruto community, whether we talking about the manga or we talking about the anime. Now, Boruto chapter 56 overall 10 out of 10 chapter. It's one of those chapters that it's a whole lot of fixing of theories going on, a whole lot of reevaluations of thoughts and ideas prior to a lot of the information that was released in chapter, because it feels like they kind of completely just decided to go a whole different direction. But I've always said, especially since the events, ever since Kawaki showed up into the manga, but I've always said with the Boruto manga, it's one of the most unpredictable stories, especially when being compared to its predecessor, Naruto Shippuden, with the things that are going on, the overall grand scheme of the story, where it's like, where's Boruto's overall story leading in the overall debate of him, morally staying a shinobi and believing in the ways of the shinobi, because that's one of the first things they attack with Boruto's morale and his overall becoming of a student master bond, when Sasuke's like, you got to figure out your ninja ways, something that's going to, confront you right now and in your battles to come. So we see it's going to be evident in Boruto's overall grand story. But yo, bro, the way things have been going, chapter 55 already gave it to us like, yeah, we're going to be looking at Code as kind of like the go-to guy right now in terms of being the antagonist for Boruto's story. But now the bombshells dropped this chapter. It was just so crazy. Now, overall chapter review, like I said, I did miss it, so I won't give you all overall synopsis of the entire events of Boruto chapter 56, just going on my usual breaking down videos of different topics and different things that occurred over the chapter. Now, this video, I'm definitely going to be focusing on the characters, specifically Code and these cyborgs that were officially name dropped this chapter by Amato to be self-proclaimed stronger than Jigen, matter of fact. Now, the whole thing is we have where we understood Amato doing the scientific technology, working on experiments, all of the Kara inners, and augmenting and enhancing their bodies in order to make sure they become like more powerful. Now, prior to this chapter, we have situations where we're freaking out because we have Delta being able to match or suppress Sage of Six Paths Kurama Link mode Naruto, regardless of any situation, like power-wise, strength-wise. She was able to go tit for tat, regardless of the fact that Naruto was still able to body her, and he could have bodied her much quicker if he actually intended to. The feats was still there, whatever Delta was able to showcase. And we seen what a perfect Sage mode Kashikoji was able to do, not only murk Jigen, but also go not toe to toe, I would say, with Ishiki, but at least swap hands with Ishiki to the point where he wasn't able to get one shot, even though it was obviously a one-sided match. He still was able to hold his own versus an Otsutsuki, not like the strongest Otsutsuki we've seen thus far into the story. This is like the type of equipment we're messing with when it comes to in terms of Amato's work, and we see Code's abilities being revealed this chapter even before we find out about his special positioning in amongst these cyborgs that are stronger than Jigen. And he's have this like it's like a Kamui, or it's like I see people saying like a Kamui. When I see him use it, when I read over the panels, I think of Minato's space-time ninjutsu, or the second Hokage space-time ninjutsu. It's just like, they needed the kunai in order to be in any location, wherever that kunai mark or that marking, whatever where is that, they would be able to appear there in an instant. And it's kind of like the same scenario with Code's belts. Is like Now we finally figure out what the fuck was going on with this strap. All this time I've been asking for over a year what's going on with the strap on my man's face. Now I'm not sure if it was clearly stated this chapter what the limiter placed on Code's power was, but I believe it's the belt that somehow is limiting his powers. But at the same time, he's able to use this weird jutsu with the belts. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but still, and able to pop up, his body parts or pop up himself or his claws that he's able to go through, his scientific modifications with his body through the belts and or travel anywhere wherever the belts lie at. And it's actually a dangerous ability. Now, Amato is explaining all of this stuff to Naruto and Shikamaru as everybody's listening, and we finally come to understand that aside from Code, there were other cyborgs created that were stronger than Jigen. Now, we've seen what my son Jigen did to a fully powered up Naruto, fully powered up Sasuke. Now, Baryon Naruto, like Naruto's wiping he's washing Jigen. Jigen got no chance. Now, a lot of people have the misconception when Amato states that a handful of these cyborgs were stronger than Jigen, including Code being the strongest because he has to have limiters placed on him. We're not talking about Ishiki. Now, if we were talking about Ishiki, the story would have been in just like a clusterfuck because Ishiki single-handedly came onto the Naruto franchise and broke power scalings, kind of like how they did when after Goku got Super Saiyan 2, you know what I'm saying? Damn, really even Super Saiyan 3, it was just like no such thing as like power levels no more. Like, just forget all about that shit. It also shows a way to bring back, the strategic vibes, because it's like, well, there's no fucking way someone as strong as Ishiki can be taken down by Naruto and Sasuke. But, when you have strategic implementations implied into the battle and shit like that, going back to the OG Naruto ways, then it's okay to have someone as strong as Ishiki on the scene if they're going to go about a way of defeating him versus just like trying to overpower him in order to come out on top, similar how with Dragon Ball. But at the end of the day, this man Ishiki was stupid powerful, so you can't tell me Amato's just single-handedly able to create cyborgs that's just as strong as Ishiki. So saying Jigen kind of makes more sense. Now, in terms of how much stronger were they than Jigen, we gotta really take into account my son Jigen absorbed a shit ton of Ten-Tail chakra before he whipped Naruto and Sasuke's ass. Not only that, but also before he even pulled out the stage 2 karma mark, him and Naruto and Sasuke were kind of even. They almost had him. They almost killed Jigen, right? So it's not as far off as most would think. But once he enters into that stage 2 transformation, shit was over with. And then you add on top of the fact that he had the Ten-Tails chakra absorbed prior to that fight. Now, you take away the Ten-Tails chakra, I still see Jigen coming out on top. And even adding on to the Ten-Tails chakra, Jigen's body was breaking down by the end of the fight. So taking away that chakra, who knows what's to happen mid-fight with Jigen versus Naruto and Sasuke. Perhaps he would have had intentions of ending the fight much more sooner than what he already did. But at the end of the day, Jigen was able to body both Naruto and Sasuke, and at the very least, we have a handful of cyborgs who were supposedly stronger than Jigen. Now, the anime has been showcasing Code's personality and his loyalty towards Jigen and doing a good job of that. And we see that the manga prior to as of this chapter has finally decided to build off of that and build upon Code's characters. Now, I'm excited mainly because I want to see more in-depth information of Boro's cult and his religious organization. Not only that, but also more about these inners that supposedly Amato had created, and fits well into Boro's character of going behind Jigen's back and saving these cyborgs that were meant to be destroyed upon his order. Now the only thing is, how are they going to go about implementing or including all of these individual, and how many actually for the most part are there that are actually stronger than Jigen? Because I have a feeling Kishimoto might just say fuck it, balls to the wall, and go for overkill and at least give us 5 or 6. But that, like I said, that might just be overkill, whereas they might just bring in 3, possibly even 4 new characters. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just 3, including the one we already saw at the end of this chapter who Code has come across. Now, Counter is something that I really want to talk about because she is described as, first of all, out the way, the fact that she's also one of these cyborgs amongst Code who is stronger, who apparently came out stronger than Jigen after Amato's modifications on their bodies. And then also touching on that mere fact as well, I see a lot of people spreading the misconception or the misunderstanding, whereas if Amato is the one who created these cyborgs, and this Ada that Code is going to is described as a person who knows everything in the world, wouldn't Amato know? You got to understand a cyborg is like half human, half, robot, or, android. Not as like it's full android or full robot, where it's like all machine, all, data that whatever scientists use in order to create the living thing, versus a cyborg being part brain, part human, already alive, have past experiences, past knowledge and shit like that, and then just augmented and modified abilities onto your body. So Ada and all of these other cyborgs, including Kawaki, Cole, you know what I'm saying? All of them are along those lines, whereas they were previously human, but, modified by a model. So a lot of the knowledge, or so-called proclaimed all-knowing knowledge that Code says that this Ada has, could be due to whatever previous or prior experiences, or, a situation she's come across before she had her whatever encounter with the car organization. Now he comes across her and he describes her as Ada, the one who knows everything about this world, and this just automatically gets me like excited. Now, excited for the mere fact I automatically thought, the first thing I thought once I read that is like, Code is gonna ask this girl how to basically unsuppress his powers, because he's trying to go all out and he's really trying to fade these niggas, Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, all of them. So that's automatically what I think Code is going to ask her. It would make sense for Code to ask her, because if she knows everything, she would know some type of way, because if everything is going to the way that Code believes, Amato is a traitor. Now, from the reader's perspective, from our perspectives, it could still be a little iffy. I still don't trust Amato completely, but Code is like, Amato, there's no way he's going to help me. Amato already stated he is the only one who's able to take off the limiters of Code's powers. So if this all-knowing person might have any other chance, or if there's any other chance in the world, the slimmest opportunity will lie with this Ada person who knows everything. And not only that, it could be viewed as a good asset, to have as a comrade. Now, as to why Jigen got rid of these cyborgs, was it because obviously just the only reason were the fact that they were stronger than him, or was it the fact that they were stronger than him on top of he wasn't too sure about each of the individual personalities? Because, with figures like Delta, with Boro, with Victor, including Deepa from the anime, those motherfuckers each had their own agenda, or for the most part have their own specific agenda, where it's like Jigen doesn't really give a fuck how they operate, because at the end of the day, he knows none of them can watch him or none of them can fade him. So maybe for the other cyborgs that were disposed of, it's kind of like along the same lines. He didn't really give a fuck what they did or how they operated, but the mere fact that these niggas were stronger than him was the one thing that set him off like, yeah, nah, y'all niggas gotta go. You know what I'm saying? You could do what you want, but if you're able to be stronger than me and do what you want, that's where this shit gets a little shaky. Now, I don't know how, I don't even know if they're going to come across to explaining it, but my man's Boro was able to, sniff under Jigen's nose and prevent the destruction of these cyborgs, and we have ourselves in the current predicament that we are currently in. Now, the mere fact that Code is labeled to be the strongest of these cyborgs is just, like I just said, bro. And I don't know if y'all noticed, I spent this entire video just strictly talking about, the revelation of Code being the strongest Kara Ender, and the cyborgs being revealed to be, stronger than Jigen and in hiding due to Boro's doings. Now, this whole entire feel of this chapter gives me like a nice calm before the storm setup of bro, we're getting closer to the time skip territory, closer and closer. The interactions, the dialogue between Boruto and Kawaki, a lot of the things said, between Naruto, and the things said between, Ino, Shika, Cho, and Sarada. Just everything this chapter is just slowly heating up. And until my next video, it should be Black Chi 3. Those are my thoughts so far for the situation revolving around Code and this new Ada person who's going to be revealed or debuted hopefully next chapter. And Jigen just kind of, ordered her destruction, maybe because her mere existence was just simply too dangerous, and she was able to possibly reveal information of how to absolutely kill Ishiki at the time, which, Jigen thought would be impossible, whereas like, it ain't no one coming close to the end of my life, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that's hurting me is time, you know what I'm saying? I don't got too much of it, I'm trying to find a perfect vessel. So like I said, man, I still don't know. I'm excited. I'm really, really, really excited for chapter 57. There's just so much more to talk about overall regarding around the events that went down in Boruto chapter 56. But how do y'all feel about the revelation of Code being the strongest Kara inner and there being other inners stronger than Jigen that were ordered to be disposed of by Jigen? How do y'all feel like this is gonna automatically push the direction of Boruto's story? And until my next video, holla at your boy. I'ma holla at y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, comment below. Let me know your thoughts of the video. Let me know your thoughts of the chapters and all the revelations and all the bombs being dropped. Until my next video, holla at your boy. I'ma holla at y'all. Black with y'all out. Yes, sir.
Can we take a trip to the sky? Show them that our limit's too high. Cocoa butter hips on the waistline. She said